The rubber ducky that Travis was holding as he did that tease.
I love it.
We've had some fun with our first responders and our essential workers this week for sure. Not so much fun for people stuck at home. I know we are on day 3 of snow days for our kiddos, including mine. But you know what? We will take the dry weather for the next day or two, Mallory.
Yeah, in preparation for that next snow chance arriving on Friday. So we are definitely stuck in this cold pattern. Temperatures have stayed below freezing. We're still well below freezing at this noon hour here. Temperatures in the low to mid-20s all across Kentuckiana. And today is another one of those days where temperatures aren't really budging much from our morning lows to our afternoon highs, all thanks to this cloud cover that we're still under. I saw a few peaks of sunshine trying to get in there, but it does look like it'll take until later on this evening and tonight for more clearing. Wind chills are in the teens in many spots, though winds aren't all too bad today. We'll expect winds coming in from the west between about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we've had some snowflakes around through the morning hours, still at this lunchtime hour as well, pushing south of Louisville, getting maybe a dusting in some spots there, but it's very light, fluffy snow as we have very cold air in place. And once again, we are expecting drier conditions as we head throughout this afternoon. Temperatures, as I mentioned, really not budging today, staying in the 20s. We'll get some clearing this evening and into tonight. And temperatures overnight will depend on if we clear or not. If we have cloud cover around, likely teens. If we see more clearing, those temperatures will plummet into the single digits. And that's honestly what we're counting on. More sunshine tomorrow, but once again, temperatures staying below freezing. And then we're tracking our next chance for accumulating snow. You can see as this time ticks along, starting Friday, more so Friday afternoon and evening. We'll be talking much more about this winter storm watch to the south. That's going to be coming up in our 7-day forecast.
Mallory, thank you. Snowplows are headed to more streets in Louisville in response to this week's winter storm. The mayor said this expansion is a first for the city, a plan designed to help JCPS and other schools get kids back to school. Our Alex Dieter and photojournalist Emma Gefter explain.
A car stuck in snow in Lucia Avenue in the Highlands.
I mean, it's going to be pretty hard for a school bus to go through some of these side streets.
A side street right off Baxter Avenue where the entrance to Bloom Elementary sits.
The snow days on top of the winter break has been a little bit crazy. Closing school was a smart decision because it just wasn't safe to get here.
JCPS closed out its second snow day, and the mayor announced an expansion of city streets that they'll start clearing of snow.
To our knowledge, the city has not done this before.
To help JCPS, snowplows will hit more school routes to hopefully get students back in the classroom.
This is a huge help for us. The fact that they are willing to continue working and to push even harder and to add those extra routes is huge. Side streets is one of the things that we look at when we're making determinations on whether or not we're going to be able to have school.
Taylor Uselis,
as a JCPS parent, I put my kids in JCPS because I have faith in most of their decisions.
Has 2 kids at Bloom Elementary and lives just 1 street over from the school.
Just walking over here from my house, it was like our street is iced, our alley is iced, our sidewalks are iced. The sidewalks along Baxter are iced. So it'll be hard, to get to a bus stop or to get to school if you're a walker.
Sidewalk conditions here at Bloom Elementary are still covered in snow and ice. One of the things that JCPS is looking at closely to consider when school will return.
We would love it if you live near a JCPS bus stop and you know that you have kids who will be waiting out there for bus stop. If you will shovel and put some salt down on those areas as well.
Greenberg said for the first time, the city is reevaluating what routes need to be prioritized.
We have 110 routes covering 2,700 lane miles. But again, yesterday I asked the question, why are those the routes that we have? We're going to be looking at, are those still the right routes?
So instead of Louisville side streets you can sled on, the city is hoping to get school buses back on the road.
Cannot wait to get our students and our staff back in our schools.
Even with the added city resources, Uselis is making her prediction.
If I had to predict, I would say we probably won't have it the rest of this week, but we'll see.
Hard to judge both Mother Nature and a snow day decision by JCPS. In Louisville, Alex Dieter, the WHAS11 night team on your side.
Those additional JCPS routes started getting treated around 11 o'clock this morning. The district has not made a decision on whether school will return on Thursday. The latest it can decide is 5 a.m. tomorrow. Well, as crews work to get all the roads clear, people are noticing barricades of snow and ice left behind the plows. In neighborhoods like Germantown and Clifton, you can see as those plows continue to work, all that snow just grows higher. sometimes blocking off sidewalks and the cars. Some people looking forward to getting back on the roads, finding additional work of digging out those cars to be frustrating.
So we were supposed to go to the hospital for some appointments yesterday. That got canceled, or we couldn't get out. Anyway, it's been a mess.
A lot of other streets seem okay, but Germantown, Shelby Park, it's looking a little rough. I'm just gonna try to prevent it from getting stuck, hopefully.
If there is an area that you know about that needs more attention, you can always call 311 to report it. TARC is operating on reduced service again today. Just like yesterday, 2nd, 12th, and 22nd Street routes will not be in service. The same goes for Hill Street, Portland, Poplar, Level Road, and Medical Center Circulator. All other routes, including those in Indiana, will operate at reduced levels, and TARC 3 paratransit is still having difficulty accessing side streets, so riders should expect delays. TARC anticipates a full return to service tomorrow, and we do have the list of those routes it's prioritizing today that will not be affected by the changes on our homepage. Well, in the winter storm of '94, Louisville was not an SUV town yet. The few people who had Jeeps and the early Ford Explorers saved the day. And they're doing the same this week. A Kentucky and a Jeep club provided over 150 rides during the winter storm. Our Travis Bree spoke to the head of the club about using his passion to save lives.
We bought our first Jeep, was a 21 Gladiator, and we fell in love with the Jeep community.
How are you?
Doing good.
Jonathan Dunn picked me up Tuesday, like he has for dozens of people this week.
We are going to go pick a prescription up for a young lady who's not able to get her medication. We have a local chat on Facebook called Paw Patrol, so you know we're always to the rescue.
The Rough Cut Jeep Club and Stir Crazy Jeep Club have taken houseless people to warming shelters, nurses to shifts at the hospital, even a surgeon to stem cell surgery.
The nurses, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, they're lifesavers, but they have been the funnest people to be around.
This run to the pharmacy for someone who couldn't get out of their driveway.
Thank you so much. I am literally 13 minutes away. I have your prescription ready to go.
While the roads are a lot better, some still need an off-road vehicle.
There you go.
Thank you, yes, and I really do appreciate
Oh, you don't, and you do not have to, it's on the house.
because as you see,
The stories and the memories of people, the smiles on their faces of just us picking them up. And them thanking us so much. That's probably the best part.
On the streets of Louisville, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
Jonathan Dunn said they had about 30 drivers out during their peak, which was Monday night, expecting to do maybe one more day of rides today. And when the roads need to be cleared in Radcliffe, they go right to the top. That's Mayor J.J. Duvall, who's been in the driver's seat of plows this week, working his way through snowed in and iced over neighborhood streets. He even did a bit of towing this week. Mayor Duvall said it's his way of helping out already busy city crews.
You get a lot of calls in City Hall that if there's an extra truck available, I try to take it and go out and hit those complaints and let the guys do, their normal zones and hit those and knock those out.
The mayor will be helping out as long as he says is needed. Due to the roads, Hardin County schools remain closed today. In other news, the new attorney for Steve Lawson has asked to delay his trial. Lawson is one of the 3 men accused in the death of Crystal Rogers. Right now, his trial is set for next month. Lawson's new attorney says he has concerns he will not have time to go through all the evidence by then. Lawson fired his original attorney back in August and has a status hearing scheduled for tomorrow when we could learn if the judge will allow the delay. Brooks Houck, Rogers' ex-boyfriend, and Joseph Lawson, Steve Lawson's son, will all be tried together in June. Both Lawsons are charged with complicity to murder and tampering with physical evidence, while Houck is charged with murder. LMPD identified the 4 officers involved in the death of a man wanted for shooting an Orange County Sheriff's deputy Friday morning. Those officers are Joshua Trumbo, Robert Ross, Jan Dykes, and Benjamin Derby. The suspect was 33-year-old Austin Shepherd. Police say he was found at a home in the Jacobs neighborhood and then shot during a confrontation. Shepherds was wanted for shooting Deputy Zach Andry back in West Baden, Indiana. State police said the deputy stopped to help who he believed was a stranded motorist, but when he confronted Shepherds, he was shot. Deputy Andry remains in the hospital. Louisville basketball just handed Clemson its first ACC loss of the season in a dominant 74-64 victory. The Cards took on the Tigers last night at the KFC Center, marking the Cards' 5th straight win. Up next, Louisville hits the road to take on Pittsburgh this Saturday. Tip-off is set for noon.